the Kooks. Now that is a name I have not thought about for quite some time. I used to be really into the Kooks back in the day. That first album, Inside In, Inside Out, was chock full of bangers. Ooh La, She Moves in Her Own Way, Seaside, and others. You know, it's also, oh yeah, fucking Jackie Big Tits. I forgot that was a song. Great album, and then they just kind of fell into nothing. I remember personally, I saw them at Reading Festival in like 2012, something like that. And I'm not gonna lie, they didn't do loads for me from a live perspective, but you know, those songs stuck with me. And then in 2014, so I guess that does track time-wise, they put that album out, Listen, with the heart on it and stuff, which was fine. They had like one song on it, About Town, which I quite liked. And then, I'm not gonna lie, I pretty much just forgot they existed. And I don't want to be harsh, but it feels like quite a lot of other people did. But it turns out they have been continuing to chuck out music the entire time, and I've just not noticed. They've got Hello, What's Your Name? Let's Go Sunshine. Okay, they've got 2 other albums. And I get, and 10 tracks to Echo in the Dark. 3 since then. So, you know, good for them for continuing to stick it on out. I have no idea what any of their newer incarnations sounds like at all. So I'm kind of curious. But yeah, I noticed that they released a song today called Never Know, which at the time of looking at it has only got 1,300 views. Maybe it'll do better. For their sake, I really hope it does. But, you know, I felt like let's go for a little blast from the past and see what the Kooks sound like basically a decade after the last time I intentionally listened to them. So, yeah. Clean blank slate, no prejudgments. I'm hoping it's good. Let's jump in and listen to Never Know.
Nothing's ever set in stone.
I swear this says official. It just says official. Clever. Because I was expecting a music video, but this looks like a lyric video with pictures, which is fine. You know, do your own thing.
You're not like anyone I met before. You win by not playing the game. The times are changing, but you stay the same. Let's turn around the hourglass.
I quite like that little organ bit in the right pan there. It adds a sort of like slightly cheesy, almost, I don't know, sort of like British seaside feel to it, mixed in with like, you know, that kind of like slower intro with just the bass carrying it. It definitely is of its genre, and that's a genre that has not been like at the forefront of music for a while. So I'm curious to how like religiously they stick to that, whether they try and move with the times.
Freeze it in a photograph. I'll tell you everything I used to hide, 'cause I don't wanna waste your time. Let's do all the things we want to do, because you never know,
Okay.
never know.
The way that those backing vocals came in there was like really quite nice. The sort of slight ramping up of sort of tension and sort of volume of the backing and stuff, hopefully going into what, as I assume now, are going to be a slightly more elating chorus. But the build-up was nice. They definitely have that, like, it's that same feeling that like the Vaccines or other bands from that time period who have now, I'm assuming they're probably all now touching 40, and they've just been doing this a while. They've been touring, they've been recording consistently, so they have this sense of just professionalism around them, which, you know, you can only ever like learn over time.
It's gonna never know, never know, never know when it's gonna start.
Okay, that was nice. I like the build up into that with the backing vocals and everything drummed up a little bit, and you kind of thought maybe it was gonna get like heavier, louder, or something like that, and then it kind of brings it back in again. It keeps it mature. I quite like that.
So let's go pack up the car.
There's that organ again.
Drive to the south of France. The wind is dancing in your head, singing je ne regrette rien. Can't take the money when it's time to.
Yeah, that second, I think it must be pre-chorus, right? The second that kicks in, you've got that picky guitar line in the far right there, which is quite nice, and it's complemented by some fairly flat chords, but they're like nice and reverby. That flat wasn't meant as an insult. From the piano in the other ear, it really, really opens up that sound in a somewhat muted way still, but it definitely adds that level of urgency, and then the backing vocals add to that more. It's subtle, but I like the production on this.
So let's blow it like we're movie stars. Think of all the
Okay. I always love it when backing vocals do that as well, the canon thing. They didn't just follow him, they started following the same melodic line and the same rhythm, and then he diversified it off and they kind of turn it into like a wider sound. I just really love it when stuff starts to stagger a little bit. You get that kind of slightly canonic effect to it. I like that as an effect just across the board. Despised loafers. I also do not remember them having a female backing vocalist. I mean, I'm assuming that this is what we're looking at right now is mostly like family pics of him and the missus, so I wonder whether or not she is part of it, whether it's a different musician, or whether or not I just don't know the Kooks well enough to know that they have that in the background across the board. It's a nice tone, actually, but it is interesting that the video so far, and we're running out of time, appears to be only about him. I wonder whether or not all the remaining members of the Kooks are still there. That's something I had to look up afterwards. Ah, wait, that looks like other band members, so take it back. Okay. Well, that was fairly innocuous, to be honest. It was like pleasant. Like I said before, it definitely screams of like a musical maturity, the sort of subtlety, fuck me, that the approach to most of the writing, the mixing, the production, just across the board, it's all very muted, but in a sort of like intentional way. And you know, the attitude towards the whole thing is, you know, quite positive and wholesome, I guess. The music video was not really a video. The lyrics were fine. I guess it's more interesting than just having lyrics flashing up on a screen, but realistically, I know they're not, like, you know, swimming in record deals at this point in their career, probably, but it could have, I don't know, brought a camera into the studio when we were recording it or something. I don't know. I find videos like this a little bit of a cop-out. And also weird when they, like, really predominantly feature the main singer, and I wonder whether they're more of a collective. In fact, let's have a look. Okay, so they've just changed one, as far as I can tell. Paul Garrett appears to have left at some time, but I have no idea at what point in their career. Oh, here you go. Oh, he left early, 2008. So no, it seems like it's been a fairly consistent lineup. Up until now, at least. So, yeah, no, that doesn't explain that one at all. No, the song was, like, completely fine. I'm trying not to be too harsh, because maybe it's just a little bit, my taste has developed a little bit since then. It's gone not heavier. Well, yeah, it's gotten heavier. I was a real indie kid back when these guys were at their absolute prime, so yeah, I don't know. It was fine. We'll see whether or not this video ends up doing better or not, but good for you for continuing to, you know, well, bloody hell, they do appear to be touring a lot, but good for them for plugging away. Yeah. Well, there you go. That's what the Kooks sound like nowadays. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know if there's some other good Kooks material in between their, like, third album and where we are now. There might be some other gems that I've missed over the years that are worth checking out. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all of that crazy stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.